Hi everybody, welcome back to SlipTwpKnit. I'm Shelby and I come to you from Shelby Township, Michigan, which is where I do my knitting. If you're new here, thank you for tuning in, and if you're a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. I always do this. If you're new here, you may not know. My name's Shelby. I come from Shelby Township. Shelby Township is also called the Twipp or Shelby Twp. So on Ravelry and on Instagram, I'm Shelby from the Twipp, and that's where I get the name for my podcast, which is SlipTwpKnit, which is a mashup of the Twipp and the decreased stitch slip knit. Just so you know, I'm trying to think what else is going on. I apologize. If you're a returning viewer, I apologize. I did not have a video up last week, and there's a reason for that. I went on vacation and I was supposed to record an episode before I went on vacation that was supposed to go live while I was away. That didn't happen. So basically the week before I went on vacation, I was working until like 8 o'clock every night. And the day, and it got up to the point where it was like the day before I was leaving before vacation. I was leaving Friday. Thursday night I got home. I didn't leave work till 8:30. And I hadn't even packed yet at that point because everything just like that whole week work was horrible. Work was horrible that week. So I hadn't packed. Packing, I was at work till 8:30. I got home and I was still sending emails at 10 o'clock that night. And then I had to pack. I actually was basically working up until I got on my flight to Florida last week. As far as vacations go, I wish I could get a repeat, because when I was on vacation, I spent probably 50% of the time while I was on vacation thinking about work. Please kill me. So I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about knitting. So that's what I'm going to do. I have a couple of exciting things that I have, and exciting, it's finished. I have things that are finished, things that are off my plate. That's exciting to me. This is kind of how I feel at work when I get something off my plate. It's like, whoo, and then something else comes in. But I like knitting. Knitting makes me happy. Work does not make me happy right now, but I need to work. I need to make money. I need to make money so I can buy yarn. So I have two finished objects. And the first is my Moonflower socks. These are, the pattern is by Very Busy Monkey. Her name's also Stephanie Etting. She's on Ravelry, it's Very Busy Monkey, and on Instagram as well. This yarn is Cascade Heritage in the color 5713 Placid Blue. Here's what it looks like up close. Very easy pattern. No cabling, just knitting, purling, decreased stitches, and yarn overs. Super easy. Also a very fun pattern. And I actually was able to finish these before I went on vacation. I did not take any of my current whips with me on vacation. I went on vacation and I started whole other projects, which was what my intention was anyway. But that's these. They smell good. I washed them. And these, did I already say these are a Christmas present for my mom? These are joining the other pair of socks that I knit for my mom for Christmas. And if you look here, this piece of scrap yarn right here is where I left off last time we saw each other. So these are done. I can knock them off my to-do list. I'm very thankful. I think mom is going to like them. And this pattern is very fun and probably very beginner friendly if you're new to lace. So that's that pair. And then I also finished another, I have another finished object, which was a whip that I had previously to going on vacation, and those are my Woodland walk socks. This is a free pattern on Ravelry by This Handmade Life, and I have talked about these socks in literally every episode of my podcast so far because I have always had a pair on the needles. So this is what they look like. I knit these in Knit Picks Stroll in the color Pumpkin. That's what they look like up close. It's a leaf motif. Very simple as well, like the Moonflower socks. Knitting, purling, decrease stitches, yarn overs, and then that progress keeper, which is my little carrot cake progress keeper, is where I was last time you saw me. So I didn't finish these before I went on vacation. I actually finished these today, but that's another thing I can get off my plate, and that's kind of how I feel right now, just trying to get things off my plate. So that's 2 finished objects. I haven't had finished objects in like, I want to say 3 or so episodes, so that's nice. And believe it or not, I don't think I'm going to be talking about the Woodland walk socks in my next episode because I don't think I have any yarn that I want to use. That was rude. My camera ran out of memory space. Anyway, I love these socks. I've made, this is the 4th pair I've made this year, 4th total. I don't think I'm going to make a 5th pair this year, but I do want to make a 5th pair because, as I've established in a previous episode, I really like prime numbers and multiples of 5. So for now, we're going to just stick with a multiple of 5 and a prime number and go with 5. But I'm not sure what color I'm going to go for next, if that makes sense. And now I'm really paranoid that I just deleted everything. Oh well. I guess if that if worst comes to worst, I'll just have to re-record. It's fine. So next I will talk about, I got whips. I got whips up the wazoo. So I'm gonna talk about the other thing I worked on prior to vacay. The other project I worked on, which is my love note. So I didn't take this on vacation with me, and okay, let's see. I got very far with it. As you can see, last time you saw me, I think I had just separated for the sleeves. I did not put down a progress keeper, which was silly. But this is a love note sweater by Tin Can Knits, and the yarn I'm using 2 strands held double. The first one is Stress Knits in the color Betty, and then my mohair is Shibui Knits Silk Cloud in the color Ash. And I really love this color. I think you can't really see it in this light, but it's a Tweedy blue, and it's just a really pretty color. So that's what I'm using to make my love note, and I'm excited about the way it's turning out. However, I am tangled up. Well, this is helpful. So where I am at, I have knit enough. There's enough here between the underarm and the body that this is like the part where you're supposed to be doing the hem, and it's got a split hem. And I started doing that somewhere. Not entirely sure where, but what I noticed is for the short row, for like the hem split, not split, it's like just like a lower hem in the back than it is the front. You use a wrap and turn. My wrap and turns are horrendous on this. So what I think I might do is I think I'm gonna rip back a few rows. I think I'm gonna rip back to right about here and then knit, and then I think instead of doing a wrap and turn for the high-low hem, I will just do German short rows. I think that's my plan of attack. So that's where I am. I'm still really happy with this, and I'm gonna keep working on it. Just need to figure out when I'm gonna be able to rip it out and start over. Also, regarding my love note, I am working on this project with my friend Kelly from Miss Kel's Crafty podcast. She's knitting a love note and I am also knitting a love note, so it's kind of like a knit along between our two podcasts. And I think she's about where I am with mine, but she and I both are putting up new episodes here soon, so I guess I'll see where she is. But hers is really pretty as well. I like mine, but hers is also really pretty. Next, I'll talk about my vacation knitting, which I am not sure if I went on vacation or a knitting retreat, because I did a lot of knitting. So I'll show you. I almost have another finished object on my hands here. So what I took with me on vacation were heel toe do-si-do socks. This is a pattern by the Crazy Sock Lady, and it's meant for, I think it's designed more in mind for like self-striping yarn. And this is what I have. The yarn is a brand based here in Michigan called Knitterly Things, and this is the Vesper Sock yarn in her self-striping colorway Bold and Beautiful. And with this sock in particular, I did do the heels, toes, and cuffs in contrasting color. So well, I haven't done my heels yet. I'm doing afterthought heels. Pray for me. So this one is almost done. I just need to do the heel. So the heel and the toe, the cuff, the toe, and the heel will be in this color, which is Knit Picks Stroll in the colorway Dogwood Heather. I used this yarn on a sock project that I made for my mom for Christmas, another sock project that I had going on, I want to say in like my earlier episodes. So, but this is the heel toe do-si-do, and I did extend the chevron pattern onto the back side. So here's the underside of the foot, and I just like it when the front and back of my leg for my sock match. So that's why I extended it. This is a really fast, easy, fun pattern. It's a 2-row repeat. It's very it's very memorizable. And these socks, I started them, I got the cuff done before my trip because I wasn't sure that my snippers would get through airport security, because they're like, they're little, but they're sharp and potentially lethal, maybe. So I wanted to do the cuff first, and then that way I could just focus on the main body of the sock for my flight. So I did, and I got most of this sock done on my flight. I want to say I probably got from here to about here for a 3-hour flight. And so this sock was done pretty fast. And I rolled that the wrong way because I don't want my progress keeper sticking out. And then sock number 2, I'm on the toe. So this will be, next time you see me, I'll probably be telling you about the first time I ever did an afterthought heel and what a panic attack I almost had doing that. So it is giving me such anxiety to think about doing an afterthought heel. But I know a lot of people like the Kirby Werby afterthought heel tutorial, so that's probably the one I'll look at first when I am considering that. Regarding my last whip, and this one isn't even on needles because I took the needles out to travel. I'm working on a hat for my sister's boyfriend for Christmas because I figure, 1, he's not my boyfriend, 2, it's not a sweater. I don't think the curse of the boyfriend sweater applies here, but I'm making him this hat. On a normal person it probably looks like a cowl, but my sister's boyfriend has a giant head. His head is 24.5 inches around, believe it or not. I measured. But this hat is actually, I want to make one for myself as well, but like I said, he has a giant head. It'll fit him fine, but it's kind of slouchy. And this pattern is by Faye Kennington, and it's her Christmas cracker hat, and I'm knitting it all in Knit Picks Swish DK. The main color is this light blue, which is called Twilight, and I picked these colors for the most part. My sister's boyfriend is a huge Detroit Lions fan, so I figured he would wear something if it was in Detroit Lions colors, kind of, and this is really close to the Honolulu blue that the Detroit Lions do. And this was my first time doing color work, and I think it's turned out really well. I haven't had to, like, I don't think, I might have had to tink back a little bit somewhere, don't remember where. I think it was with this row. I might have had to tink back, but I haven't really had to, like, I didn't have to rip anything out. It just, I really took to it, which is nice. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna do the decreases and put a pom-pom on it, because I think it's, he has a giant head, but you know, even people with giant heads need their hats to be closed on top. And with the pom-pom, he will like the pom-pom. He has other hats with pom-poms, so that's why I'm not worried about it. I didn't really do any hacks with this other than I did a little extra ribbing because I want him to be able to fold it double, so hopefully it stays on his ginormous head. I measured his head last time well, no, not last time he and my sister were here. I measured his head way back when, probably like when he and my sister were here for Mother's Day or Father's Day. And I just measured it. I measured his head. It's 24.5 inches around, and I was like, you know, he and my sister, they live together, they have a dog, so I'm pretty sure at some point they will get married and have kids. So I'm just kind of praying for my sister that if they have kids, their kids don't come out with giant heads. Like, you know, they'll be cute though. Her kids, no matter what size their heads are, her kids will be cute and they'll be good people. Also, last thing about this hat. It turned out a lot more patriotic than I was anticipating, and I think for some people that would be a bad thing. It's not a bad thing for me, and I don't think it's a bad thing for my sister's boyfriend, because he's a patriotic dude as well, and he served in the military, so I think he deserves to be patriotic. So that's it for this episode. I don't think I'm gonna chatter. It's kind of late here. It's Sunday night, probably 10:45. I have work in the morning. I don't want to go back to work. But I can chatter next time maybe. I just I didn't want to disappoint. I know that I didn't get a new episode up before I went on vacation, so I just wanted to get something up so you guys could see what was up. I've clearly been pretty busy on knitting, and I'm so happy that I finally have some finished objects for you guys. And well, I mean, they're finished objects mostly for me, but you know, I'm glad I finally have some finished objects to share with you. I feel like I just like won a great victory, kind of. And anyway, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna edit this. Please go watch someone else's podcast now and enjoy your day. Do some knitting. Thanks.